So, hi Alan, welcome to Health Tech with Purpose.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm glad to be here.
Great, great. So, how's HIMSS going on?
HIMSS has been great for us. This is our second time to HIMSS. Last year we were very overwhelmed by the size, but this year we came into it knowing what to expect, and we've had a lot of great conversations.
Amazing, amazing. So, Alan, would like to know a little bit more about you and your background.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my name's Alan, live in New Jersey, and work for a company called Nividous. I've been involved in a lot of companies over the course of my career, most notably Xerox, the U.S. Navy. I came to Nividous because I think I appreciated the passion um, for trying to make a difference with people.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of technology companies are more focused on the tech than on the people. And I've always been a tech person since I was a small child. I was really weird in my youth and saved up my money to buy a computer
Nice.
instead of a bike or a car or something like that. I was very interested in computers at an early age, and so I've always been interested in technology. But as technology becomes more prevalent in society, I'm a little bit concerned about what that's doing to our interactions with people, right? And so I was very interested in being a part of a company that was focused on the dynamics of people and interactions with people, and just using technology for the advantage and benefit of people.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, thank you for sharing your background. Pretty interesting. And I would like to know a bit more about your company and what it does.
sure. So our focus is on intelligent automation, and so there are a lot of different components of that from a technology perspective. So without going into any great detail to bore people, I'll just give it at a very high level. There's three main elements of technology that are combined in our platform,
Hmm.
and they're all integrated together so that people can build on their own, or we can help them to build it, or we have partners that can
Nice.
help them to build it as well. Automation solutions that account for end-to-end automation. So here's the three pieces of technology at a high level. We have robotic process automation,
Nice.
often called RPA. We have business process management or business process automation, often referred to as workflow.
Yeah.
And then we have artificial intelligence or
Great.
AI. And obviously, AI is more of an umbrella term. There
Yeah.
are a lot of different components in that. So all of these technologies are built by us. They're not licensed by other people. And they're part of this single platform that we have built specifically for the purpose of performing these end-to-end automations. And so just to give a little bit more flavor around what I mean by end-to-end automations, if you look at an RPA tool specifically,
Mhm.
that will be focused on automating a discrete task,
Yeah.
right? So something that is involving manual effort where a human is having to, let's say, uh, copy and paste something or cut and paste something from one application to another, or from an email to something else, from a spreadsheet. Those kinds of situations come up all of the
Yep.
time in people's workflows,
Yeah.
right? And so an RPA solution will take that task, and instead of having a human do that work, it will get the bot to do
Yep.
that work. And so that's really great, and it can save a lot of time. But what ultimately ends up happening is that in an enterprise, the complete business process from an end-to-end standpoint encapsulates more than just that one
Yep.
discrete task,
Yeah.
right? There might be lots of different steps like that where data is pulled from different places and then combined together. But there also might be elements of that or tasks where a human will always be required,
Yes.
right? Maybe there is, certain a certain person in a certain role has to talk to another person in a different kind of
Yep.
role, or maybe they're interacting with a customer, or maybe it's a customer support type task. You know, those kinds of things, we recognize that it's best done by a human, and you want a human to be able to do it, but you still want to have the benefits around having that process automated. And the benefits, the key benefit is gathering data around that,
Yep.
right? So from an end-to-end standpoint, you can have all these different steps. Some of them will be automated steps done by bots.
Yeah.
Some of them will be steps that are done by humans. Some of them might be steps that are done by different systems or combinations of
Yep.
systems. And you can build that complete automation together from an end-to-end standpoint using our platform and capture data around all of that, which means that then you can report on all that, build dashboards around that, and ultimately use that as a way to grow your business, make your business better.
Yeah, that's interesting, because what you're saying is there are things that need automation, but then there is certain intelligence behind that as well. And automation along with key components that a human brings in is the value that gets created, right? Eventually.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? We don't want to, a lot of people, when RPA first came out, you
Yeah.
would hear this a lot where people are using RPA as an offset for humans,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, if I bring that in, how many people can I get rid of?
Yeah.
We don't want that kind of thinking,
Yep.
right? We want humans to be focused on the tasks that they're best at
Yep.
and not have to do the stupid mind numbing tasks that they don't want to do.
Yep.
Because not only is it going to be unhappy for them and they'll probably end up leaving their job because they don't like doing it.
Yeah.
But also they're not going to do it that well,
Yep.
right? They
Yep.
want to do other things.
Yes.
They're going to do it as quickly as possible. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for
Yep.
error. So we want humans to do what humans are best at, machines to do what machines are best
Yep.
at.
So optimizing at both ends.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So, what are certain applications in healthcare that you see of the platform, and you have already, probably, if you can give a use case that you've already implemented?
Certainly, yeah. So I would say we have seen a lot of use cases across the board in healthcare and even outside of healthcare. But with a focus on healthcare, the top area where people are interested in automation is usually revenue cycle management, or RCM,
Okay.
because that's where they see the direct impact to their bottom line.
Got
So from the stage of initially setting appointments with patients to the point where claims are submitted, payments are processed, all of that complete cycle, there's great opportunities for automation because there's a lot of highly manual steps
Yep.
that are typically involved in that process.
Amazing. And so, who are the main users, per to say? Is it technology that is being adopted by providers, or is it because you mentioned the revenue cycle, right? So, and where do you see across PAM of healthcare any more use cases that you foresee?
Yeah, so I'd say it's being used across the board.
Okay.
So it can apply for payers, providers, clinical settings even. There's a lot of opportunity for this kind of technology, not just to remove the manual tasks,
Yeah.
but also to elevate the customer experience,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So when you use the technology not in place of humans, but as a supplement for the humans,
Yeah.
you can get to a much better patient experience or patient journey.
Yeah, that's a very nice take, because when we move to automation and AI, which is like a big buzzword, right? The first point that comes in mind is replacing. Are we replacing humans, and what jobs will be affected? But what you're saying is, if done intelligently, it's actually beneficial for everybody,
Right.
right? Right.
Yeah, and we see this especially with companies that are growth oriented,
Yeah.
right? Because when you think about it from the standpoint of a stagnant organization and you think about how putting an automation in place saves X amount of hours,
Yeah.
then it's easy to draw that equivalency between, okay, we're saving X amount of hours. If that adds up to more than the hours
Yep.
of a full-time employee, then why am I paying
Yeah.
extra people for that? But when you look at it from a growth mindset, it's a completely different equation,
Yep.
right? When you look at your revenue goals and what it will take you to achieve that in terms of additional headcount, you see the cost of adding that additional headcount, not just the cost of the salaries, but the cost and the time involved in recruiting,
Yep.
the education, the onboarding, all of that is difficult. And then you still have fallout from that, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so if you can offset some of that employee growth with automations, it becomes a much more attractive equation for growth.
Exactly, and the another aspect of it is hours that are saved. The same employee can put their hours into something that they are skilled in, or give more productivity to the organization apart from doing certain mundane tasks which can be automated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that often comes up as one of those tasks where a lot of organizations feel like they just don't have enough time for it is innovation.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of companies say, yeah, we know that we should be spending more time on this. We see other companies emerging that are doing these really cool and interesting things, but we just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Everyone is busy just keeping the business running,
Yep.
and we can't afford to take that time. But this is a way that you can build in some margin so that you can take some time for
Yep,
that.
yep, exactly. Pretty interesting. So, what's your take on AI? I have been hearing something called as responsive AI, especially when it comes to healthcare, right? So, what's your overall take on the AI side of things?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of buzz around AI right now with Chat GPT,
Yep.
the generative AI, the
Yep.
conversational AI. That's kind of coming to the forefront right now. And I think within the healthcare space, one of the things that I haven't heard many people talking about, but is going to become a problem 100%, is that it will have to be an industry focused model that can drive things really forward to any advanced level within healthcare. So the generic models that we have out there right now, like ChatGPT, it could be useful for party tricks and maybe some little bits and pieces here and there, but for it to really advance to the level where it's useful in normal business processes, there's going to have to be some more specific
Yep.
healthcare models built, and it can be done, right? It's
Yeah.
just that no one has taken the time to do that
Yep.
yet.
Yep.
And I think that's where we'll see this go over time, is that people are going to start taking the time to do that because they're going to start realizing what the possibilities can be.
Yeah.
And I think it can take us in a lot of exciting directions in terms of how this additional technology can supplement what we're already doing.
Amazing, amazing. Awesome. So, one of the key things that I would like to know is what kind of impact is being created because of your technology in the health tech space. Any comments on that?
Sure. I think we have certainly a ton of case studies posted on our website to give you all kinds of numbers, which I don't recall off the top of my head exact numbers, but I can give you some insights into the kinds of things that we see. So we talked about the appointment setting as being the front end of RCM.
Yeah.
And this is often a task that not only is very manual, but it's also a very low percentage in terms of conversion, right?
Yeah.
If you have a call center set up to just create appointments, their success rate is typically very, very low.
Yeah.
And so what we have seen is when you build automations in where you use the technology to supplement the humans, it creates a better experience for the caller slash patient,
Yeah.
and you get much better conversions as a
Yeah.
result of that. We see the same thing on the payment processing side as well as MPS, right? So this is another thing where a lot of companies struggle to get a quality number of responses, right? When you're giving patient surveys after their service, a lot of people just don't want to be bogged down with stuff like that. And no matter how easy you make it, your response rates are going to be very low.
Yep.
So we have been able to build some good automated systems that make it very seamless to get that kind of feedback so that the patient is not inconvenienced by doing it, so you can see much better response rates.
Awesome, awesome. To my final question. Okay, so what is the purpose of Nividous and how do you see it scaling up?
So I think our purpose overall is to help other companies make the best of their business. So we always talk about, helping them to operate at their peak efficiency, right?
Awesome.
So that's really what we're all about, and we leverage technology to do that. And one of our key differentiators that I really didn't talk about much already is that we really bring a process-based way of thinking into the
Yeah.
mix, right? So you heard me talk a lot about end-to-end business processes,
Yep.
and that's really our differentiator and our pedigree is that we have this process way of thinking, and we have the skill set internally to help you to build that within your organization. And it's the way that our products are built as well. So, if you look at how you build a process in our platform, it's all based around that step by step approach that I was talking about. So you can see those discrete steps of this automated step is performed by a bot, followed by this human step, followed by this automated step, followed by an interaction with these external systems. And you can see that all broken down into a process flow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Alan, for joining us. And thank
Thank
you for
you.
sharing your insights.
I appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.